one more any enuma no on sabasubiso. Now one metimia enti NDC amanyo kono chire 24-hour economy policy no one mu de ba se be na Yuma woodwono at the shift system yensa and a beye juma na will be pon will be so ababetnemo atwa so pepe nitimi aboa ama omei akweni.
This is the 24-hour economic clock. One job, 3 shifts, 3 people. 1, 3, 3. One job, 3 shifts, 3 people. Obiabe Didi. Ezu. Extraordinary problems require extraordinary solutions for extraordinary results. And so businesses and public organizations will be encouraged to operate 24/7 in 3 shifts of 8 hours each. This will boost production, it will increase employment and provide well-paying jobs. It will transform Ghana into an import substitution and export-led country. It will increase employment opportunities and revenue, and it will enhance access to public services. We will focus on some selected public institutions that have huge customer traffic. For instance, the ports and harbors should be open 24/7. That means we have to employ more workers at the port, we have to employ more customs officers, more Gapoha workers, more forklift operators and all that. We need customs. Customs should work 24/7, 3 shifts, so that at any time your items come, customs at any time of the day is open for business. You can go and process your import things, papers, and take your things out of the port. We must have a passport office that is operating longer than 8 hours, so that people who need passports and other such documentation can have access to it. We must have a DVLA that is working more shifts than 1 shift, so that more people can get their licenses processed in a shorter time than the current waiting time. In the private sector, the sectors that we are looking to promote and encourage to run 24/7 and 3 shifts are first the agro-processing sector. That is those who will process our cassava into cassava starch, cassava flour, gari, and all that. There's a huge market in Africa for all these products and in other parts of the world. Manufacturing, that is industry. Manufacturing, that is industry. And so the textiles industry, the fruits juice making industry, all the industries, the iron and steel industry will be encouraged to run 24/7. The pharmaceutical sector, we want Ghana to be the pharmaceutical hub of the whole of Africa, so that we'll produce medicines here and export them to all other African countries.
Yep, and Samuel so Diana, John Dramani Muhammad in Sembi Atuja Washagana Funina. Ebo says when ya benyana, any four or her any edunuchi pepeno, or beshe sa one more day a national dialogue be. Ebesh Snasia Bobo, may said Yaniama, Esifa Econ, wash a quaya, or betimi Amaniama, Akonkai, Ediama, or Vivia.
And will review taxes and levies on vehicles and equipment imported into the country for industrial and agricultural purposes. 9, will introduce the no academic fee stress policy for all first-year students in public tertiary educational institutions, in universities, in technical universities, in polytechnics, colleges of education, nursing training institutions under our no fee stress initiative. We will budget for this and the money will be given to the Student Loan Trust. It will register all the level 100 students, and it will pay the money to their universities on their behalf so that they don't have to go and pay anything. It will be a grant. It's not be a loan. It will be a grant, so they don't have to pay for it. 10, we'll introduce the following social intervention policies. 1, free tertiary education for persons with disability. The Ghana Medical Care Trust Fund, which will be a fund that will help the treatment of kidney ailments, hypertension, heart disease, high blood pressure, and all those kinds of things. We'll commence within 120 days the distribution of free sanitary pads to female students in basic and secondary schools. 11, we will institute inquiries or forensic audits into the following matters of public interest. 1, MPP's collapse of indigenous Ghanaian banks and financial institutions at a supposed cost of 25 billion Ghana cedis. We will institute an audit into the illegal printing of money by the Bank of Ghana to finance the corrupt Akuffo Biomia administration. We will investigate the 58 million National Cathedral scandal. We will investigate the COVID-19 expenditure scandal. We will investigate corruption scandals including the PDS, Ejapa, SML, ambulance spare parts, 13th African, All-African Games, SkyTrain, Palugu Dam, mass sets, Galamsey fraud, missing excavators, missing tricycles, illegal and inflated single-source contracts, bus scandals, and many others. We institute a government policy banning all political appointees and politically exposed persons from buying any state assets. We will allocate seed money within 120 days for the establishment of the Women's Development Bank to support women-owned and women-led businesses. We will launch the following priority job creation programs in the budget. The first is Ejumawura, that is the entrepreneurial project to promote 10,000 young entrepreneurs and mentor them. The 1 million coders program will roll out a Made in Ghana agenda to promote the production and consumption of locally produced goods, particularly through leveraging of government spending power. 15, we review the Customs Amendment Act 2020 to scrap the law banning the importation of salvage vehicles, to rescue the local automotive industry in Swami Magazine, Konkompe, Aboso Okai, and all others. 16, we will lay before Parliament a new bill to usher in a new era of government scholarship administration, which will, among others, prohibit political appointees from accessing government scholarships and eliminate political patronage, cronyism, nepotism, and corruption in the world of government scholarships.
NDC amanyokono kamaya se wonu mu chese wo ye wafe mu die bia se de beye na enwo mesia no afa ne ntuma pa edi fra wo man Ghana mu ne tumi di mpunto ma pa Ghana mai ehwehwe no yensa etumi aka ne sa pepe ne senti Professor Nana Opokuajiman edin sama tudwa ya wo kire se NDC amanyokono wonu mu ebo wo homodin bia se enwo mesia no ebefa ne ntuma pa edi.
For the past 4 years, we have engaged in countless discussions, debates. We have come to agreements and compromises and refined many drafts and revisions to bring this document to life. We came from the party, but also from stakeholder organizations, civil society, many other concerned groups, anyone who wished to be part of the drive to change things for the better. Therefore, we have included input from private citizens because that is also very important. As a party, we have a proud tradition of listening to diverse perspectives. As is often said here in the Central Region, those standing behind us have the clearest view of whether the path we are laying is straight or not. This philosophy has resulted in what is being launched today, which is truly a collective document shaped by contributions from Ghanaians from all walks of life, regardless. So, what we are proposing, in collaboration with Ghanaians at home and across the globe, is what it is that has been elaborately conveyed by His Excellency and a couple of persons. I wish to begin with education. The NDC remains unwavering in its commitment to quality and accessible education for all Ghanaian children, from kindergarten through senior high school to the university and beyond. Education is a bedrock of national development, and we are determined to ensure that every child, no matter their background, has access to a conducive learning environment. To achieve this, we will prioritize personnel quality, provision of infrastructure and learning material, and especially the relevance of what the learners are acquiring towards our future development. And we will pay particular attention to our schools in the rural areas and in deprived areas. Having said that, what I'm trying to say is that the education goes beyond the infrastructure. Although that is basic, it is fundamental. It ought to have been there, but it has not been. And that is why we pay attention to it. And we also pay attention to the quality of the facilitators of the whole learning process. And that explains why we keep raising the quality of teacher preparation and teacher training. Vocational and technical education is a very important area of focus. With approximately 70% of our population under the age of 30 and 50% under the age of 18, it is imperative that we prepare our youth for the job market. And I would like to plead here that we look at our semantics again. If somebody went to the vocational school, it is because he is so endowed to go there. It is not so much because he couldn't. We need to tone that language so that the students will feel appreciated and will feel encouraged and will know that we appreciate them also for the talent that God has given them.
Yatwa and Samuel Esodiana Finfi Mantem a Pentecost Convention Center. A course so a woman Penia Medici, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Eco Piemo, Ewohona, Ninkasayemono, Watchress, one dear, and Chakran, Ghana for one Madani Dano Yana, one person with free Bibia, one Cresicayenne Mawonum, and Chakra. What the credit-based system be a babe bueno, able to me, Abuama, Numa Bebrenoso, Aquaso.
Issue about cars for teachers and what we want to do for journalists and all of that. I really believe that one of the major problems, and we address this in the manifesto, that hampers workers and livelihoods in our country is the fact that we operate a cash-based system, unlike in the advanced world where they operate a credit-based system. So in ab initio, life is much harder if you are a teacher in Ghana versus if you are a teacher in the US or the UK. Even if you are paid the same amount every month, the teacher in the UK will consume probably 5 to 6 times more goods than you in Ghana. Why? Because they are able to obtain credit and pay over time. And so, but we in Ghana here, we have to accumulate cash for whatever we want to buy. If you want to buy a car and the car is costing 100,000 or 150,000, you have to look for 150,000 to pay for the car. But if you were in the UK, you'll probably be paying 1,000 every month to pay for the car, or much less. But so your salary goes along a much longer way. So one of the things that we are bringing in, as far as our manifesto is concerned, is to move Ghana from a cash-based system to a credit-based system. It's very, very important, because the reason why the credit-based system works in the advanced countries, because they are able to compute credit scores for everybody. You know, credit scoring is key to a credit-based system, because it then assesses the risk of any borrower in terms of borrowing, money for a fridge or a car or a TV or whatever. So the credit scoring becomes very key. 14 years ago, I wrote a book on monetary policy and financial sector reform in Africa. This was in 2010. And in this book, I was making the case for why Ghana and Africa generally, we needed to move towards the credit-based systems. And the reason why is to really bring down the stress on living in our system.
Wana wa apomuden edwumemu a woye adwuma no nenso wonje aketia ya yefe wonu se eye volunteers no nene ababeto dwa se krowo mo ahebedwani mame Agnes na momulate abo wonu mabaso pa ene adwuma so a woye
Brashibedwani ene ensem twere ni twetwe nkomo no na odi to dwa se wabra all pray brashibedwa di bre no asemba kwa na edena koma so no wota aka pa ne se obenya di bre no a obehwa apomden ho nsebie na afi wonu matu ho achebo apomden ensem se ebema ne muso mensene no emu no wetumi aboa wono enti ne awoye eye bo sha wo hye e na wodi suo ose se wo hwe esom a volunteers ya som e woto ho ache ama apomden sefata se wobo wono mabaso
mene health for estinasi. One of the promises health workers volunteers work row say I'll find a way of supporting and motivating all workers, health workers. Sometimes you have the plans and the intentions, but ability no na akoma inyama a delay. But God being so good no she say enne adum when God graces us with today yebeba near all the volunteers say debia omusho manfo how do we also serve them, pamper them, and make sure they are also comfortable in the service they render to the communities. And see, we brought all of them together here, and we told them of plans I have for them. And so say volunteerism no and dia yabuye nia to so but recognize omo
but one nsem so de tudwa say oba beti futuo bi ya eno eba beboa ma akwani aba hodo a volunteers AD enkoye kwa eni anya hwe kura no se ne abusumi bia wo se na wotwe bia wo allowance kakra wo de be ma won wotimi de ma wonom ama wotimi de atwitwa won ho kakra akra.
We speak, we are looking at the annual budget we have. In fact, we share in health fund. It's not much to write home about. But the health sector, health directorate, and him say, I go out of my way to provide resources to take care of things that I feel are pressing, are supposed to be prioritized. And see, we've agreed, by the close of the year, beba together nyamempa say obeso ye nyinemu no amaya apomudin na ye nyina ya there have been people who have worked in the past. We've arranged to also go and see them and appreciate their volunteerism while they had the strength. Bebre abo emrewane nkwakra, and we want to acknowledge the work they have done for the communities.
Mensini no penyina wo hwe apomudensem so Dr. Sally ono so ejebre eda volunteers yase wo dwumaso na emfie dodo abesine kroni wabo de aboa mensini no.
Today with our community health volunteers, yes, and in a now annual program which is dubbed Time with Community Health Volunteers, we've realized that the community health volunteers in Crow have supported us in all that we do in the communities. They've been a source of pillar for us in the communities. They know the community members. They're able to push our message to the communities and the community members. So we deemed it fit to meet with them, have a discussion with them, talk to them about what volunteerism means, and also solicit questions or find out the challenges they have in doing their work. Yes, and see how best we can help and support them in doing the work. And we know that they always help us to do community screenings, community health screenings. So they go out and mobilize people, community members, for us to do the screenings. And we've realized that we want to also reach out to them to come over and also ensure that we do some health screening for them, because they've always been taking care of that of the community members, but how about them? We don't want to leave them behind. So we want them to come over and also have their themselves screened, so that if they have any problems, we can take care of them or we'll have them referred.
Homowa jumedie yeda yenuano me wo pampam enimninti no emebunu hene ya wo pampam nene teina te ya wodi kan ahyase bi ewo wono makwan no so sede beye na hyenkafo etumi afaso.
Ansa na dwumadie bekoso no na akwan ahodo a ewon potam honu nyina nye gas ntimi hye da ni akwani abapapa enti emeburu hene nenetai na ate edito ne ho so se ekna ni so ade hunu ho so obema mpuntu agusu potam ho waye emeburu hene enti ebutu sa agina afi nso akwan a wagusui wo kire se homowa afahye edu omanimu no ebema gas atimi edi akwani aba na ama homowa afahye no aye krabehwe afi o se ogusu bo amebu no akwani ase nyina so na se de wedi kan ahye dano wabema mpuntu ni asumdwe abuso amomanfo a ewa pram na aso ne mpotemu akaso
belega wa pram ne esuwa manje yan ne kesu je ansa no wadra mami ne mami ne cho ne chabi ya me no waje sika je ko mami kwankwan yan kaje ho ne bio ka ba simone ne mon le wanye mami wange blo me ne pum wanga me dra ka ma shon ka ya kambe ne na yo ni wi amancho le chole ka waka ni wi me ka yi me ya ne mo na ke ba won ya fodo no ho wa na evidence on yemle ka ni wi me yemle ye wi me ko me yemle ni chabe ni me wi ne drama se ni wi ne drama ni wanu wa bia etwe ka ba drama me ne ma me ne cho ne me ne pe fale na ehia wo wa be chinji ka oba ne to enjo ne ba pram na oba dra pram ma na ni wi me oba na bo na juai ne me ne be ni chumi o at least ni wa anyi oba bo ai modern wa ka me ne wo ni chu nyame ne me to abo na juai be ne pe ne ma na ya no o advice oji kan wole wa pe politics ne ngaji no fe no ji eni political eni party ne ejim ngale che kotokun ne wade wo no ka no hi mo no fe mo no party no so kan ni na nga ma mi o yusu ojo no ka vote ne ma mi ne jo sanita
asafo ache Lateefa ntmo so nan ebo hini yabaso ewo edwumaso na wodi ne mom osre chitai shronko ede man se bebunu enye di obetimi bia na mpanyefo ewo kronum so nta na chi sanse ye wo furudua pa no ye piano
ko ba ye ka je wonyaman na ji la akpele ka be chuwa ne ta na ate na ji gbugbula na ewi amanche nkele wa nubonya na wa ke wo ba drama no wa ngedra waje shikaje ko no wanga no wagbinya lolo esaka nuchu no wanga chu no eji government ni chu eji DC here ni chu eji MP here ni chu se chapi wa opinion leaders se ne wa maso heji o akane niewi ji wo wanga lane ma sebi na nga bubla fam bi na nga ma na angama se na hia de nya ni chu yo akenenna kan niewi amancho na tolo atule gu keke sa tole ne ekeniewi no ko yoba na ka gbugla man niewi amancho eteshi ne keniewi teshi na ngani chu wayi to ha gbugla manji hefe ne blonge hefe ne ngapoyo wo wabadra esaka wangana ne kotoka ngwache no wadashinga naning no wakangani otu no omoni ongase no nganayo obomode ne mu ko hewo
emaburo ne bi nso ene ensem truni ekasai
ade na enya won say within a short time you know nyama awaye no ye cry shock ba ni ne da nyame asese kompro yesu yanya you chief a oye nyama boye already in the juma ni ye bebri finingo kompro ye frɛ odo wenya afenya yetimi koye kraba nti bibia dada it is based on what we have been doing, you know. And yama opportunity na abaniso. I've worked with him for so many years, so I know what he can do. He's a man that believes in work. On the open say, Ejumani Kosu, we are whatever is behind the work, we celebrate it. So we thank God for giving him to us.
You chief no be nikoma. Na say abet you say na yefano. But yefano no sunu. Udrakonu mabo say here change bebre ya den aba last 4-5 days clean up exercise e wokonu mommy ukomu a you clap for him. He did marvelous job. Ejuma wo ye no obi antime nya ampa opie so a youth no apie mu dia hodin de eta na chi ko hwe konu mu anopa ya from 6 o'clock I was sure on didi o e na didi e ejuma ye machines na ejuma ina na kasa ni dia or feed obia or feed machines fuel enya skati or economy kusha economy kwa nyanya wa ye nyina amaye man bi try sama ye enye onu anka ntimi nya bibia it is a particular person ye fa ni dago
abusia ye nkwadwadie ensem watching every year presser a course one and as a job for beside Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, my penia bedi say a year cocoa body ya yesterday eba beguno a dear in 1 year a dear fassa some no a home. Now my penia bedi ni ya no our day am I and say one of dear winyan in tea say cocoa board no a year ago.
Cocoa board is on the verge of collapse. I'm not aware of that, but we'll look at that. I cannot comment on that. It's not. I don't know where the data is coming from.
After your call, Obi Maso and Semu. Yatwaso so diana yako Mozambique maino emona ababeto jose empenifo atoto enyemenina eyenunti October 9 and awono abato no ebehyasie me sentino empenifo chese campaign ye wono mo hyasie de dende ewo maino emu na enei eye party a ewo abenwemu no wono mo chese efi 1975 and a one more opposition party no egusua ene womo ekodedende ya one more share nipa wo betimi asaso enya to me sabre nenso one more cha eye independent candidate Venancio Mondale ni wono ena enkofo bebre na ehwe ni mu se wode nsacha ya hodo ebebanti dodo na aboa won ho esie ehwe so wo betimi ato aba no ede amano nenso sabre de eye management ne empenifo ni na kire se basabasa ye bia ebekoso ewa bato ni mu no wono mu soso so wo behwe se emra no ene safoni na no ebe di ne nyonyonyo ne sentino wono mu sre amanyuko ahodo wone wonum supporters no enkasa na bibibia no anko basa ewo maino emu na so sabre de wo mo chese di jihadist fo nso wonum ebo wo humodin bia sabasabasa ye no wo behwe ambe bia koso ne nso aban ekira wɔde bambɔ yɛ mu ɛbɛyɛ den pa ɛwɔ hɔ no mu ɛna ɛbɛma wɔmanfo sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ na mentime ho ase anasɛ ɛtututuo bia ɛnkɔkasa ɛwɔ hɔ ne senti Mozambique foɔ ɛkyerɛ sɛ wɔn mu nneɛma boɔ ayɛ den pa ɛnneɛma mu yɛ ayɛ na ɛyɛ den ɛwɔ man no mu ɛde ama wɔn mu ɛno nti wɔsrɛ sɛ mpanimfoɔ betumi ahwɛ na wɔyɛ bibi ɛde afa ho ama wɔn mu na wɔkyerɛ a efi mmerɛ a aban no ɛba abɛnwa mu no wɔnyɛ bibi bia ɛmfɛ ma wɔn mu nti saa bere deɛ wɔn mu hwɛ nim sɛ abatoɔ yɛ ɛba so October 9 no wɔbɛbɔ wɔn ho mmɔden na wato aba no ɛde ama party fufuo na sɛ independent candidate a wɔn mu wɔ ne mu gyidie mapa sɛ wɔbɛtumi ɛde mpuntuo a wɔn mu hwehwɛ no abrɛ wɔn mu. Area Permto Breakasi abo ya jebre edi basumu na ha ena mema kwan na yedini na esi musum fwerie me Lateefa Akuffo madawase amamo enesha makao.